Hello everyone and welcome back to the X-Ring. I hope you're doing well this afternoon. It's been a while since I put out any videos. Been really busy with the shows from NRA to Blade Show. A lot of stuff going on and getting everything ready for preparation for that sub-MOA 1 mile challenge, which I'll film next Sunday. However, when it comes to suppressors, there is, you guys know that I have a personal favorite, and that's going to be the Thunderbeast arms. And when I was at SHOT Show this year, they said they were releasing a new model, and that was going to be the Magnus SRR CB 30 cal. So if you want to know more about it, stick around. All right, so if you're a precision rifle shooter, there are a couple of decisions you have to make. Of course, we could take any rifle we own and shoot it bare muzzle. Everybody's done it, people still do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, if you have a threaded barrel and you want to reduce that recoil, that felt recoil, to be able to spot your shots better, more effectively, you definitely want to look at something like a brake. A brake can reduce your recoil by almost 50% depending on the make and the model. And they do help quite a bit. However, they're extremely loud, not only for you, but also for people around you. But they do their job very, very well. Now, when you think about a suppressor or a precision rifle suppressor, make sure you test it first, because sometimes adding that extra weight can change what's going on with the rifle, and then all of a sudden the load that it liked, it might not like, and you might have to change some things up. So the Thunderbeast arms, they are based out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and they make some unbelievable suppressors. Full titanium. I've been using the Ultra 7s and the Ultra 9s for many years now, but I wouldn't shoot a suppressor in a PRS match, okay? And for me, the reason is I think a muzzle brake is a little more effective, but I also don't have to deal with that heat signature coming off of the actual suppressor itself. Even if you run a silicone cover or any of the other covers out there, you're going to get that mirage as this heats up, because they do heat up very quickly, especially when you're shooting 10 rounds or 12 rounds in 90 seconds out of a centerfire rifle. So at SHOT Show 2024 this year, the guys over at Thunderbeast told me about their new suppressor being the RR. So this is the Magnus SRR. So RR stands for reduced recoil or recoil reduction, or as they say, race ready. That sounds like an inference to KTM because they use ready to race. But basically what they've done is, instead of having the flat cap, and guys, this really reminds me in the size and diameter and all, it reminds me of the Dominus SR quite a bit. However, this is Magnum based, so I wanted to get something that I could shoot in the 30 cal range for like 300 Norma or 300 Win Mag. There's a couple of different options you can get for mounting systems. You can either do a direct thread, you can use the CB mount, you can use the SR mount, which has a secondary retention that locks it on there. So you have to know kind of what you want and what platform it's going on. As far as the end here, guys, this is very reminiscent to what Area 419 did a couple of years ago when they did their Maverick, the Area 419 suppressor. Very effective, very modular suppressor, and it is one of my favorites for modularity, but I had to try this out from Thunderbeast. So big shout out to those guys for assisting me with getting this suppressor for evaluation. This is brand new. You guys can see it's like 2 hours old, actually. I was waiting for UPS to deliver it. Unfortunately, I don't have a 30 cal barrel with me today. I actually have the MRAD, which has the Proof barrel. Big shout out to Proof for sending that, but it should still show the effectiveness of the actual brake on the end of the suppressor itself. You also want to make sure that you have enough gas to make this brake effective. I mean, if all we're doing is channeling this gas and we have very little output, it's not going to help with recoil. Now, Thunderbeast says that the Magnus SRR CB can reduce recoil over a bare muzzle by 60%. And that's actually more than what a standard muzzle brake will do at about 50%. So what we'll do is we'll try it out on the 6.5 Creedmoor. We'll see how it feels. I'll tell you what I think. I'm not going to wear any ear pro. I will when I shoot it bare muzzle or with the CB brake, but then we'll try it with this and I'll tell you what I think. All right, so the go-to ammunition for me has always been Hornady Match. Big shout out to the folks at Hornady for helping support the channel. They've been a long-time supporter of the channel, and I can't thank them enough. We're just shooting the 147 grain variety, and we just have the Thunderbeast, the CB brake. So it actually acts as a 2-chamber brake. It's rather small, but it gives you a way to attach your suppressor to the firearm very quickly. So what we'll do is we will just let you guys kind of focus in on the brake itself, and so you guys can see this. Here we go, 100 yards. All right, so definitely effective. There's very little recoil, but the rifle actually weighs quite a bit. Now, unfortunately, I cannot show on camera me attaching the suppressor, but basically that CB brake has a collar that will get it centered on the actual suppressor itself. So I'm going to put it on and then we'll resume once we do that. Okay, so now we've twisted that suppressor on, and this isn't always going to line up properly. So what you've got to do is they supply you a small spanner wrench. You loosen this, you time this where you need it, tighten it back, and you'll be good to go. I haven't moved the rifle or anything, but what we'll do is we'll load like 2 rounds. We'll let you see. I won't shoot steel because I want you to actually hear the actual suppressor itself, and I'm sure that the microphone is going to cut out a little bit, but we'll see how that does. There's the empty, and here we go, into the dirt. Oh, extremely soft. So with it making that recoil impulse a whole lot basically longer, the felt recoil is really, really soft. Let me go to like 4.6, and let's see if we can bang this target at 1,000, or excuse me, 700. It's only 700 at this range. Here we go. Impact. So, man, that thing is super effective. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ears out. I'm going to shoot this without any ear pro. Remember, one exposure at 140 dBs is really all you should be doing. So here we go, 700. Yep, impact, very soft, guys. Didn't really hurt my ears either, and I'm really surprised on that one. Let's see if we can go for the little 10-inch steel. I need a little more magnification. I can tell you without a cover, I am starting to get a little bit of mirage off of this right now in my picture. It is a little bit milky. Yeah, so I am getting mirage at this point. So you definitely want to use a suppressor cover anytime you're using a suppressor, but guys, that thing works. It's very effective. I'm hoping you guys caught that on camera. Let me get some close-ups of that. All right, so I don't know how well you were able to see the difference, but the recoil impulse is definitely longer, so it is less felt recoil in my opinion. Now, once again, you got to be careful. We didn't have a cover on this, and I did start to get that mirage rather quickly from the heat off of this. It was actually really hot when I took it off of there. Because of course we can't show that on YouTube, but I do like what they've done with the suppressor. I think it'll be even more effective when you shoot it on something like a 300 Win Mag or a 300 Norma or one of those Magnum based cartridges, but it is a really, really nice suppressor, and it's very pleasant to the ear and with the tone that it has. All right, so I wanted to come up with a way to subjectively test this. So I've got the Beretta, the BRX-1. We have the Sako ammunition. I've got bare muzzle shooting the Sako, the TRG, the 175 grain. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to brace for it. I'm just going to stand pretty much straight up and down. I'm going to shoot it to the berm here, bare muzzle, and here we go. Okay, so you saw the recoil on it. Like I said, this is a soft shooting rifle, so nothing crazy. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on a muzzle brake. I'll do the DN5 by Masterpiece Arms. We'll see how much of a difference it makes, and then we'll go over and try the Magnus SRR. All right, so next up, I've installed the Masterpiece Arms. This is the DN5 30 cal muzzle brake. To date, it is the most effective brake I've ever tested on any rifle. I am a firm believer in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to check this. Same thing, about the same angle, so you guys can see this. And here we go into the dirt. It didn't even move, guys. Did you see how flat that was? That's pretty incredible. So let me take this off, and then we'll do the Magnus. All right, so I'm not going to lie to you. With that DN5 by Masterpiece Arms, this thing was an absolute pussycat. Like, there was no recoil. You guys saw that. So what I'm going to do is, without ears, we're going to load the same round, and we're going to try it on the Magnus SR. RR. So hopefully you guys will have this in frame, and here we go. Okay, so it smarts a little bit, not much, but the recoil management, very, very considerable. Now, what I want to do is, as effective as this is, I want to try to compare it to the Dominus SR, which is also a 30 cal can, and let's see if that makes any difference, and hopefully we can see that in the slow-mo. All right, so we have the Dominus SR, and we have the 300 Win Mag, same ammunition. The straight through design, it doesn't grab on the other side. You just drop it in here. So here we go with this one, same test. And here we go. Wow, considerably louder and definitely more recoil. So the Magnus is definitely a more effective suppressor in the 300 Win Mag. All those, it didn't really hurt. I could definitely tell it was louder, quite a bit louder, but I think it's a good comparison. Okay. All right, this one's loud. Ready? Yeah. Okay. As far as dealers, just check with any of the Thunderbeast Arms dealers in your area. I know that Gary over at Paramount Tactical, super good guys. That's who I teach the XP Long Range Academy with. Thunderbeast is also one of the supporters of that school, so big shout out to those guys. But he is a dealer for them, and he's got a bunch of these coming in. So check him out if you want to make sure you can get something rather sooner than later, because we know how fast these turnarounds are on suppressors. You can also use X-Ring in the coupon code, and it will get you a discount at that store. So from here, I've got the new Victrix, the Venus Pro. You know, we got tied up in customs for a while, and that's in 6.5 Creedmoor. That'll be my competition rifle for this year. And then I'll be headed to Italy next week, and I'm going to try to visit Victrix and then off to Switzerland. I'll try to get you guys some footage from that. And I did want to tell everyone thank you for watching the channel, and thanks for everyone that supports the channel, including the Patreon supporters. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.